It's February 6th. I haven't driven very far today. This little pond is about maybe 2.5 miles from where we live. Didn't want to go too far today because there's a pretty good chance of rain after lunch. It's very humid, very still. I think there's a lot of instability in the air, so there's a pretty good chance we're going to get hit with storms after lunch, and so I decided I would stay fairly close to home. I've fished this pond before, maybe once a year for the past couple. It's got some bass in it, some big ones. I haven't always caught a lot of fish, but I know they're in here. It does not get fished very often. Very still right now, so I might try the fly rod after a while, but I'm going to start out with worms since that seems to be what's working the best. And well, if I catch anything, I'll turn the camera back on. Well, not too bad. Put on a tiny little micro popper that I bought in the fly shop the other day, and on about the third cast, I had this sunfish come up and take it. Pretty big as far as sunfish go. This side of town, I don't know what they are. They're what species they are. Green sunfish. I'm not sure, but all right. Let me get this guy back in the water and try and catch another. Well, here's number 2. As you can see, they're not all that big, but they're fun to catch on the surface. This guy's only about 5-6 inches long. You can see he swallowed the fly down a little bit. Let me see if I can get it out of his mouth and back where he came from. Well, here's a little bass that went for that micro popper. This is fun. I think this is the 4th fish I've caught, and I've only been here about 20-25 minutes. It's fun to see him come up on the surface. All right, let me get the popper out of this guy's mouth and try and catch another one. Well, this is exciting. Been working this popper along the shoreline here for the past couple hours, picking up a stray sunfish every now and then this funny looking thing came out of the weeds and hit it. I believe it's a snakehead. It's kind of fish, it's not a snake. It's kind of a exotic species down here. They fight really, really hard. It's not a particularly big one as they go, but kind of cool to catch one on a popper. But I don't think I'm sticking my hand down in his mouth to get that thing out. But if I can get a still picture of him, that might be nice. Going around in circles here. Yeah, I think they've got kind of, yeah, he's got a mouthful of teeth in there, so I'm just going to cut him loose after I take maybe a still picture. Probably one of the larger sunfish I've caught this morning. He came up and hit that little micro popper. It looks like a bumblebee. Alright, I think he wants to get back in the water, so let him go. It's just about 1 o'clock. I'm going to quit and go home and eat lunch. I think it's cool that home is only about 5 minutes away from here. Neat that I can just drive over to a place this close and catch fish. Had a pretty good morning. Catching those green sunfish. Every 10 to 15 minutes at least. Be catching one. Caught one bass, small bass, and then that snakehead. I think I made the right decision in first coming to this place instead of some place a little further away, and then also once I saw there was no wind to choose the fly rod, put on those micro poppers. I probably could have caught some bigger bass with rubber worms and spinning equipment, but it was fun to bring those little sunfish up to the surface on the poppers, so I'll remember that. I think if I'd put on a bigger popper, I wouldn't have got anything. I just would have had a few splashes from those green sunfish, but the largemouth that is, would have just stayed below the surface. So had a pretty good morning, and even managed to avoid the rain, although it looks like off to the north that there's some clouds building up, so I think I came out at the right time of day too.